Good afternoon. My name is Donna Fizel, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge Talk Show where truth matters. Thank you so much for watching every day, Monday through Friday, beginning at 2 p.m. on the Eastern time zone as I get to ride home with you in the afternoon. It's always such a fun time. Again, thank you so much for watching. You can find us syndicated on Abundance Television, found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. And don't forget the podcast on the newscasters.com. Continue sending emails, Donna@donnasedge.com. That's Donna@donnasedge.com. A lot of you are sending emails about how can I save money. I'm not seeing the money go like it used to, or at least stretch as far as it used to. So I found some ideas for you, and these are 11 energy saving tips for the summer. As we know, it's really hot outside. So when it's really super hot outside, what do? We run the air conditioner a lot longer, and it uses up a lot of energy. So let's go ahead and talk about these different ways that you can save money. And you let me know how these work for you. And if you come up with some tips, go on ahead and send those to me, and I'll share them with everybody else. Again, Donna@donnasedge.com. Okay, so in the last few years, according to this article from justenergy.com, they say in the last few years, the United States and Canada have experienced some of the hottest summers on record. So the 9 warmest years on record are 2016, 2015, 2017, 2018, to 2014, then you got 2010, 2013, 2005 was another hot year, 2009, and 1998. Now, the summer of 1919 seems to already be one of the hottest ones, but 2025 has been a real hot one. Okay, aside of being an ecological disaster, these hot summer days can also be a disaster to the wallet. We know that. By far, the largest part of the energy bill comes from your home's heating and cooling system. With the AC running 24/7 all summer long, you can expect some of those highest electric bills of the season, especially at night, because bedrooms, if you've got a 2-story house or a 3-story house, those bedrooms upstairs are going to be hot. So that means downstairs, we have a tri-level house, so that we've got the basement, and that's where the studio is, and then we've got the kitchen, living room area, that's the second level. The third level is just the bedrooms. And I'm just going to tell you, it can get really hot out there. Now, when it's hot up in the bedrooms, it's cold in the basement. So let's learn together. I'm pretty sure there's going to be some great ways we can grow and learn how to save money at the same time. Now, the air conditioner requires regular maintenance to function efficiently through its years of service. So neglecting necessary maintenance ensures poor performance and unnecessary high energy usage. Now, checking the coils, the fins, the evaporative cooler, and heat pump may require the services of a professional. Fortunately, you don't have to be a certified HVAC technician to give you an AC. A quick basic check just to make sure it can do its job effectively. Vacuum air vents regular to remove any dust buildup and ensure that furniture and other objects are not blocking the airflow through the vents. Now, avoid placing lamps or TV sets near the thermostat. The thermostat will sense these heat appliances, and they'll sense what those create, and it can cause your AC to run longer than it necessarily has to. Now, another note on that, I found too, because I'm just telling you, if it's any kind of appliance, if it's a computer, anything like that is going to attract heat. So the more you clean it with your vacuum hose, the better that's going to run more efficiently. Now, I like to use, now you can just use the hose, you can unplug it, and then use just the hose. But I found I can get more dust off of the little units if I use the brush. Okay, most vacuum cleaners are going to come with a little brush attachment. If you use the brush attachment, it's going to give you, so let's just pretend this is the back of your, let's say your vacuum hose is going to be cleaning off an air vent. Let's pretend this is the air vent. And it'll have these maybe little coils down there, and you'll also see these little fins. It almost looks like blinds to your windows. If you use the brush, you're going to be able to get much more dust off of that than not using it. So if you'll do that in the back of your refrigerator, oh my goodness, I found that out. So, we neglect the refrigerator because it's heavy. I mean, it's huge. You got to get, your son coming over or grandson to come over and move it out. So you usually don't try to do that very often. But I found this. if I'm going ahead and do it, and it's got rollers on it, for goodness sake, it's really not that hard. But be careful if you got an ice maker. I've done that before and just, unplugged and things started leaking. It's because I accidentally unplugged the ice maker. But pull it back and get your vacuum cleaner out again. And you'll clean those coils behind there. You're going to find that the refrigerator and freezer is going to run much more efficiently as well. That's just a little tip right there. I can write a book on things that I should have done, and that's one of them. Okay, number 2 is replace the air filter. Exactly. You got to do that. Even in your car. The car is not going to run as efficiently if you don't clean that filter, have that cleaned and removed and replaced. Replacing the air filter is one of the easiest and most effective things you can do to make sure that the air conditioner runs smoothly and efficiently. Now, clogged, dirty filters block normal airflow and reduce the air conditioner's ability to absorb heat. That's just the way it goes. Replacing a dirty filter with a clean one can lower your air conditioner's energy usage by up to 15%. So let's just go ahead and put the math to it. Let's just say that if it's 15%, so let's just say that your bill runs $400. Okay, 15% times 4, you're saving $60. Okay, that's worth saving, all right? That can buy a few groceries. Maybe a loaf of bread, gallon of milk. Well, you can get a little bit more of that. But you see what I'm saying? Those little percentages do add up. So let's talk about more ways to do that. Clean or replace those air conditioning, and I'll let you just replace them. And don't vacuum and try to reuse them. It's just not going to work. You really need to get new filters. They're not that expensive. And you'll save much more money in the long run anyway if you'll just do that. So clean or replace your air conditioning system's filter every month or 2. Filters need more frequent attention if your air conditioner is in constant use like ours, okay? And it's subjected to excessive dust, or if you have fur-shedding pets. A lot of us have pets in the house. Single-room air conditioners will have a filter mounted in the grill that faces into the room, and in central air systems, you can find the filter somewhere along the length of the return duct. Common locations are in walls, in ceilings, furnaces, or in the air conditioner itself. I know we had one up in the ceiling, and it's real easy to take down. Even I can do it. So all you have to do, if it's up in the ceiling, I can tell you how quickly to do it. It's going to have these 2 little things that hang out from the ceiling. You want to pull those out. There goes the filter, and be really careful because mine was like sitting right up over a couch. And what's going to happen is when you take that out, some of that dust is going to fall on the couch. I like to put a sheet or something over that so that it doesn't get ruined. Because you could have black, black stuff, coming in, black dust and that kind of thing. So go ahead and cover the couch if you've got any kind of furniture or even a lamp. It takes forever to clean them off. So if you just put something like a lightweight towel or maybe a sheet over your furniture, well, then you're going to save some cleaning time. I've done that the wrong way too. Okay. All right. Now opt for LED light bulbs. Then that's what we've done. Everything we have, lamps, whatever, all has LED lights. So if you're still using just those regular old light bulbs, then it's time to switch to LED lights. Now, the old light bulbs that we've always used and grew up with are extremely inefficient. Now, think about this. Okay, you want to change a light bulb. Okay, if you've got to get a pot holder to unscrew that because it's that hot, you got to think about that's bringing heat out into your den, your dining room, whatever room that's in. So really think about the LED lights. Okay, now about 10 to 15% of the electricity that usually gets turned into light, the rest becomes waste heat. Okay, LED lights are the most energy efficient lighting option currently available. They use 75% less energy. They last 25 times longer. You're not going to be constantly up in a chair trying to change the lights. And they run much cooler than those old standard light bulbs. Now, they cost a little more up front, but soon pay for themselves in energy savings and saving your back and possibly falling out of a ladder because you're changing the light bulbs in a really high ceiling. So think about that too. That's just another way to think about it. Now, what I want you to think about right now is using your thermostat wisely. This is something Phil had to train me on. Okay, to do this. So let's learn together, okay? Now, set the thermostat as high as comfortably possible in the summer. Generally 78 degrees or so, or maybe even a little bit higher than that. Now, I'm cold-natured, so it's fine with me, but I'm going to tell you, it burns Phil up. Now, every degree of extra cooling will increase energy usage 6 to 8%. Ooh, that can add up. Keep your house warmer than normal when your family is away at school and at work, and lower the temperature only when people are at home. You know, having company over, you'll have to have it a little bit cooler too. You know, that's humans. We emit energy, okay? Now, avoid lowering the thermostat while the air conditioning is running. It won't cool your house any faster, and it could actually result in energy waste, and I know we don't want to do that. Been working outside, got that asthma thing going on, you know what I mean? Now, a smart thermostat can make those temperature transitions easy. So smart thermostats are Wi-Fi enabled devices that automatically adjust the temperature settings in your home for peak energy efficiency. Smart thermostats learn your habits also and preferences, and they also establish a schedule that will automatically adjust to energy saving temperatures when you are asleep or when you're away. Okay, some states and local city governments incentivize installing smart thermostats with rebates. That's the time to do it. So searching for rebates or other perks available in your area can help you save on a new device. Check with your energy provider as they might offer exclusive discounts on smart thermostats. Now, another thing I want you to think about too is when you get your taxes done. If you're, I've got a tax preparer that is a very big conservative. You want a conservative doing this, okay? And she will tell me, hey, you know what they're doing this year? She'll even call me and say, you know what? They're doing this thing right here. I'm not telling you what to buy. I'm just saying that I've noticed that your power bill's a little high in the wintertime or in the summertime. And the government is offering incentives where you can get some money back off your taxes next year. That's the kind of girl she is. All right, let's do one more, then we'll go into a commercial break. Use fans with your air conditioner. Let's see how this works. Okay, running a fan is much cheaper than running the air conditioner. Well, I mean, it's smaller. And they also make them much more energy efficient and quieter than they used to be. In fact, running a fan 24/7 for an entire month would only cost about $5 on your electricity bill. Unfortunately, don't actually produce cold air. They just move the existing air around. Now, the airflow creates a wind chill effect that makes people feel more comfortable, but it does nothing to change the temperature. However, fans and air conditioning work great together. It's a marriage made in heaven. So let's talk about this. If you use your air conditioning, a ceiling fan will allow you to set your thermostat setting about 4 degrees higher with no reduction in comfort. Remember to turn your fans off when you leave the house. With no people around to feel that wind chill effect, then the fans aren't doing much good except making your energy bills just a little bit higher. Okay, but that's a great thing to do. Now, another thing we learned to do in the wintertime, and I'm going ahead and give you a tip for winter, so you can be thinking about it. So you keep the ceiling fans going even in the wintertime. So what you want to do is reverse it. And what it's doing is pulling the warm air down. Okay. This is especially important if you have vents that are up in the ceiling, which I don't ever advise you to do. Let's go into a commercial break, and we shall return in just a few minutes.
Twin City Used Car Sales has been serving drivers in the Northeast Alabama area for years with a quality selection of late model used cars, SUVs, and pickup trucks. On top of our extensive selection and competitive prices, we offer professional auto financing services for used car buyers of all credit levels. Whether you've just begun your search or you're ready to secure your next vehicle, at Twin City Used Car Sales, you will drive away with the vehicle of your dreams. The sales and finance staff at Twin City Used Car Sales looks forward to serving you, and you can apply for financing online before your visit to our used dealership in Gadsden, Alabama. Check us out on the web at twincityusedcars.com or go by our location at 901 First Avenue, Gadsden, Alabama. We sincerely look forward to serving you. At Lamone's Mexican Restaurant, located in Henniger, Alabama, and voted Best Mexican Restaurant of DeKalb County, Alabama 2020, we're here to serve you with authentic Mexican cuisine. Order easily online by going to lamonsmex.com or call 256-657-3999 to place your order. We're open Sunday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Friday and Saturday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Whether you're celebrating a cozy date night for two or a celebration for a crowd, at Lamone's you'll love our atmosphere and friendly servers. Thank you for dining with Lamone's Mexican Restaurant. At Liberty Bank, we're all about community, whether it's to help with a charity fundraiser or help families in need. Toys at Christmas or a local football team, we're here for you. You see, we realize the importance of family. Sometimes it's to build a new home or necessary home repairs. We're here for you. If you like the feel of a small town bank with all the conveniences of a big city bank, we're here to serve you. You will find us at any of our convenient locations in DeKalb, Marshall, Etowah, and Blount counties in North Alabama. You can call and speak with any of our friendly staff at 256-659-2175 or check us out on the web at libertybankal.com. And thank you for your support of our community. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
I'm excited to announce our Christmas extravaganza is finally here. Get this season's flannel sheets for as low as $59.98. They won't last long, so get them while you can. Our famous My Slippers, they haven't been on sale for over a year. Regularly $119.98, now only $59.98. Our 6-piece towel sets are back in stock with extremely limited quantities, only $29.98. With hundreds of MyPillow products, there's something for everyone on your Christmas list. Bathrobes, duvets, quilts, down comforters, and so much more. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save on all MyPillow products. For example, flannel sheets for as low as $59.98, or our 6-piece towel sets, just $29.98. But that's not all. I'm extending our 60-day money-back guarantee until March 1st of 2025. Plus, all orders over $75 or more ship absolutely free.
The only place I buy my beef is Lone Tree Ranch in Collinsville, Alabama. Their cattle is born and raised on their ranch, grass and grain-fed, and you can feel confident when you serve your family and friends because their beef is all natural and no antibiotics or hormones are added. You can buy whole beef or perhaps go in with family or friends and buy half. Their customer service is number one as they take care of the delivery to their local processor and can deliver to your home for a small added fee. They also offer herd replacement heifers. I always call Lone Tree Ranch in Collinsville, Alabama for my beef specialty recipes and cookouts, and you can too. Food shortages are increasing, so buy local by calling 256-523-6462. That's 256-523-6462.
We are back. My name is Donna, and I am your host of Donna's Edge Television Talk Show, where truth matters. Thank you so much for watching every day, Monday through Friday, beginning at 2 p.m. on the Eastern Time Zones. I get to ride home with you in the afternoon. It's always so much fun. We're trying to find ways to save money every single way we can. And, man, it seems like those power bills just keep going up and up and up. So let's talk about ways that we can actually help those bills go down. This is what we're here for, is to help each other. Thank you so much for watching. You can find us on television, and that is Abundance Television Syndicated, found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. And don't forget the podcast on thenewscasters.com. And also continue sending emails. Oh, man, it makes my day. Continue sending those emails. Donna@donnasedge.com. That's Donna@donnasedge.com. We're talking about ways to save money. And these are 11 energy saving tips for the summer. Okay. All right. A little bit different than in the wintertime. So number 6 is close your blinds. It works. Okay, close your blinds or drapes in the daytime. You can also get those knockout, blackout curtains, and those help too. And it kind of, in the daytime, it kind of keeps the greenhouse effect of the sun. So southern and western facing walls take the brunt of the sun's heat. We know that. So invest in good drapes or shades for the windows on these walls and keep them closed. Now, north facing windows emit relatively even natural light and producing little glare and almost no unwanted summer heat gain. You can leave these shades open to admit natural light into your house without heating things up. You gotta have daylight, for goodness sakes. The only time I would want the others on is when I'm producing a show or when it's like I want to sleep in just a little bit. You know, sometimes I get to sleep all the way to 5:30 in the morning. Isn't that something? Okay, number 7, get an energy efficient dehumidifier. Oh, let's talk about this one. I hadn't thought about this one. Now, in the hot, humid climates, a dehumidifier is a perfect partner to your air conditioner and a great way to lower humidity levels in your home. So a dehumidifier actually helps lower those energy costs because your air conditioner won't have to work as hard. We don't want it to work too hard, okay? Because it's going to cost you more money. Now, when the air in your home is too humid, your air conditioner has to do double duty, cooling the air as well as removing moisture. An air conditioner that works too hard will also break more often, requiring lengthy and very expensive repairs. Okay, number 8. I love this one. Avoid the oven. Well, I kind of love it. I like to cook. But anyway, let's think about this one. So cooking with a conventional oven can add unwanted heat to your house, forcing your air conditioner to work harder. Do more of the cooking with a microwave or a slow cooker. Great idea. To keep the kitchen cool. Better yet, use the summer heat as an excuse to fire up the old backyard barbecue. Outdoor grilling is a summertime tradition for a reason, and you can cook delicious meats and veggies while keeping the heat outside. Now, I have one of those, it's like an oven. It's like almost like a small convection oven. And this thing is wonderful because Phil's got to have his biscuit every morning, okay? Well, just for one biscuit, because I don't eat biscuits that much, but for one biscuit, I don't want to get that big oven and heat up the entire kitchen. So I've got this thing. It's like an emerald oven. And it's so big, kind of, I don't know, maybe 18 inches if it's that big. And then all I do is I just bake his, and by the way, the biscuits bake in just about 7 minutes. Yeah. Now, if you want it really brown, some people do, then you might want to do 10 minutes in those ovens. But now it's going to vary depending on where you live, humidity, and if you're living in elevation, you're living out at the beach, whatever, it's going to vary because of that. But it'll save you a whole lot of money there. And then also, I like to use my slow cooker whenever possible. And by the way, sometimes like when I'm taping shows and I'm down in the basement, it sure does smell good to smell that food cooking in that slow cooker. It really does. So anyway, that's a great thing to do. You want to go out to eat as much, and it's cooking while you're working. So there you go. Now, let's talk about, let's see, we talked about avoiding the oven. How about wash strategically? Okay, let's talk about this. Washing machines, clothes dryers, and dishwashers all generate a whole lot of heat. So cut back on this by only using cold water to do your washing. Now, I want my dishes now to be washed in hot water as possible because I want them good and steamy clean. Now, but let's talk about this. Okay, wash only full loads of dishes. Yeah, that's what I do. I'll wait until it's up to the brim. Basically, pretty much, well, I wash by hand. I only use the dishwasher. Phil calls it a really expensive dish drainer, but I like to use the dishwasher when I'm sterilizing jars, when I'm doing my canning and preserving foods. Okay, only wash full loads of dishes and clothes to avoid running the appliances too much. Avoid using your clothes dryer entirely if you can. After washing, hang up your wet clothes to air dry. I kind of like my sheets being in the, that's just my preference, in the dryer better. But it's up to you. Fluffy towel out of the dryer is just awesome. Now, The cold water technique isn't just for clothes and dishes. You can also use it for your body as well. It's going to take some getting used to, but a cold shower can be brisk and refreshing in the hot, sweltering months of summer. Agree with that one. Now, since you're not using as much hot water, you can also turn down the temperature on the hot water heater. Now, according to the U.S. Department of Energy, water heating can account for 14 to 25% of your total energy use. So turning the heater down in the warm setting of 120 degrees Fahrenheit can save you a few bucks every single month. Okay, I'm giving in. I'm going to do that. Okay, now if you aren't using it, unplug it. Okay, from your computer to the toaster, all electronics generate heat. We've talked about that before. Even if it's switched off, just being plugged in generates a small amount of heat in the wiring. So to keep things cool, unplug any electronics you're not using. And it's not much per device, but it can add up with all those gizmos that you got in your house, okay? Got a couple of laptops around, or you got your desktop computer, you got the cell phones all plugged in. All of those things are going to add up. Okay, it also can make a few degrees difference. I can tell the difference. So Phil, he's still stuck on his desktop computer. He doesn't want a laptop. I believe that desktop does generate more heat than my laptop does. I think it does. Okay, now seal your home. This is so important right here. Insulation isn't just for the cold winter months. Okay, preventing air leaks is one of the best ways to keep warm air out and cool air in. So simply just caulking and weather stripping can save up to 30% on heating and cooling costs. Now, sealing your home against these leaks is easy, effective, and relatively inexpensive. So use caulk to seal the cracks and the openings between statutory objects like your door and your window frames. Apply weather stripping around things that move, like your window sashes and the door itself. Be sure to check the attic and the basement for air leaks, as these floors have large gaps in insulation or missing weather stripping. Seal the small cracks with foam or caulk. For larger holes, you may want to install or replace the insulation. You got to check out and see how old your house is in order to do that. Now, you can save on your energy bills all year long. Let's see if we can do that. So energy savings aren't just for the summertime activity. Many of these tips can save you money all year long, like your stripping, air stripping, insulated curtains, and intelligent thermostat usage will help keep your home cool in the summer and warm in the winter. So creating smart energy habits, and it's all a habit, will reduce waste, improve efficiency, and save you money on your energy bill all year long. If you've got some ways that you save energy, tell us all about it. One of those things would be, my grandmothers used to do this. You get like an ice cube, and it's really super hot outside. You come in to cool off really, really quick, so you don't have to have like your hanging meat in your house. Get an ice cube and just rub it on those pulse points, just like that. Right here at your wrist, at your elbows, behind your knees is a good place, and your ankles. So if you'll do that, you'll get a whole lot cooler really, really fast without taking an ice cold shower. Thank you so much for watching Donna's Edge television talk show. You can find this on Abundance Television, found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. And don't forget the podcast on thenewscasters.com. Continue sending emails, Donna@donnasedge.com. I appreciate you watching. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Donna Thiesel, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge Talk Show, where truth matters. Thank you so much for watching every day, Monday through Friday, beginning at 2 p.m. on the Eastern Time Zone, as I get to ride home with you in the afternoon. It's always so much fun. Thank you so much for watching again. You can find us syndicated on Abundant Television, found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. Don't forget the podcast on thenewscasters.com and all the social media sites, facebook.com/DThiesel. We've got X, we've got if it's social media, we are doing it. And again, you can find us also on YouTube. We have our own YouTube channel as well. Continue sending emails. It delights me. Donna@donnasedge.com. That's Donna@donnasedge.com. A lot of you are aware of scams that are out there, or you would like to be more aware of those scams. I'm telling you, scam artists are out there in full force right now, and they're trying to take advantage of you and all of your hard-earned money. Sometimes it's even a matter of your life. So I'm out here, I'm on your side. I'm out here to protect you and keep these things from happening to you, because I have some really close friends and relatives who have been taken advantage of. And I want to make sure it doesn't happen to you. Now, we talked on an earlier segment about the romance scams and all those things that are out there, but there are even more. So this is one right here I found that's a phone-related scam. So what happens is the scammers may contact you by phone, and some of those phone scams rely on smartphone capabilities to access the internet and install malware. Be very careful. These phone-related scams include robocalls. You've had those. You know, it's a robo. It's not even a real human being. They have people's phones ringing nonstop with increasingly natural-sounding recorded voices. They may offer everything from auto warranties to vacations, or issue a threat to try and get your attention. Now, some robocalls can even respond to your questions using pre-recorded or AI-generated messages. Now, this has happened to me a couple of times. One time someone called and they said that my daughter was in jail. First of all, I don't have a daughter. So, you know, they were just fishing. So I went on ahead and took the call because I wanted to be able to talk with you intelligently about how this whole thing can get started. So they said my daughter was in jail. And I said, well, what did she do? Well, they said they couldn't tell me. And so they said they needed me to go to Walmart or to one of the drugstores and get a gift card, and then send the gift card, and then they would get her out of jail. And so I kept talking to them, and I said, okay, well, I want to know what she did. But again, they could not tell me. And I went on ahead, because I was kind of prompt when I was doing some recordings and just about to do one, didn't have a whole lot of time to spend on it. So I said, well, I tell you what. I said, it sounds like she needs a lesson. Okay, and again, I don't even have a daughter. I said, well, it sounds like she needs to learn a lesson. So we'll just let her stay in jail. And then I hung up. So what they do, I don't even have a daughter. I have a son. And so they were just, again, fishing and asking me questions. So even if you did have a daughter, don't take that call. Let me tell you what you need to do. Someone calls, says a relative of yours, grandson, granddaughter, whatever, is in jail, and they need money to get the person out of jail. Hang up on them immediately. You need to call your sheriff's department and just tell them you received this call. And you wanted to see if a grandson or whatever was put in jail. Oh, they couldn't even give me a name, by the way. You know, that was another fishy thing about it. However, on your social media site, sometimes they will scan your social media site, say your Facebook site. And if you have mentioned, say, a granddaughter graduating from high school or something like that, they may use that person's name to get you. So just because they mention a name and it is your granddaughter does not mean that it's true. I would call the sheriff's office and say, look, I was told that Susie Smith, my granddaughter, was in jail, and I received this call. I said that I needed to go get a Walmart gift card, and that they would take care of it, or call your police department. If the sheriff's department says, no, we didn't get we don't have your daughter or granddaughter, it sounds like a scam to me, then go ahead and call the police department if it's weighing on you that much. But first of all, if they can't give you the name, or if they do, they could have gotten it off of your Facebook page. So again, really, really careful what you post on Facebook as well. Be careful of the pictures that you post on Facebook too, because some of the scam artists are getting out there, and this goes back to the romance scams. They may think you look really good in that bathing suit, but it could be a scammer who's not only going to take your money, but you could be in danger of your life as well. So I wanted to revert back to that. Okay, now malicious apps. Scammers try to get you to install a malicious app to steal your information, or they might create a nearly identical copy of an existing app and then make money from in-app purchases. So recently, this is a good one right here. Recently, there were reports of malware that could infect your phone and trick you into calling the scammer when you try to call your bank. Everything just sounded so legit. They use QR codes sometimes. Anybody can do a QR code, and they can do a QR code and have a picture put on that QR code that actually could look like it's from your bank. These convenient codes have gained popularity as a touchless option to do things like read a restaurant menu or maybe to make a payment. So sometimes what starts out really good, the fraudsters get involved and they just create havoc with it. Okay, however, scammers place their QR codes in inconspicuous spots, and scanning the code could prompt you to make a small purchase or enter your credentials on a look-alike website. You know, we've talked about this. We've been doing this for years with your emails. They can send an email to you, and it can look exactly like the logo of your bank that you do business with, because what can you do? You can copy and paste, and that's what they're doing. Make sure you check out the email address. Okay, first of all, if it's legit, the bank would use their domain name. So in other words, let's say it's abcbank.com. The email address would say something like customer service or whatever at abcbank.com. Now be careful if they use .net instead of .com. They could use .org instead of .com. So now org would be hard for them to get, but I'm talking about your typical .net .coms. Again, let's say your bank is 123bank.com, but you get an email from somebody that says 123bank.net. That's not going to be your bank. Best thing to do is hold on to that and then call your bank and just tell them that you did receive that email, and then you'll want to actually read off the email address of that bank as well. So I want you to be careful. I want you to keep your hard-earned money now. I don't want to see you lose anything because of a scammer. Just about my whole existence is to catch them and to protect you. Okay, now the techniques, they can also do a SIM, it's called a little SIM card, and it's inside your cell phone. I know because I used to work in the cell phone business for a number of years. And so phones now have these tiny little cards in them. They even make them smaller now, but they're less than about 1/4 of an inch. And it's usually a little gold or silver piece. And it has all of your information. Your information is not on the phone. It's on that little card, kind of like on your computer, you know, where you have everything on the hard drive. It's a tiny, tiny, little tiny card, like on your credit card. And it's a tiny, tiny little thing that has all of your basic information on it. So this is what the scammers are doing right now. Some scammers go as far as printing QR codes. We talked about that. But they can also do SIM swapping. Again, that's SIM card swapping. This technique is used by a thief to reassign your number to a SIM card in a phone they control. Then they can try to log into your account using codes or links sent to your phone number. They could pretend to the bank that they swap phones. They could do all kinds of things and create havoc on your life. Now, contact your carrier to see if there are any security measures for stopping SIM swapping. That's SIM, SIM card swapping. Also, see if your accounts let you use a non-SIM multi-factor authentication option, such as the Authenticator app that the scammer can't steal or access. Now, one-time password, this is the QPT bots. Some scammers use the so-called OPT bots to trick people into sharing authentication codes. So the scammers might try to log in, prompting the bank to send you a one-time code. At the same time, the bot imitates the company and calls texts or emails you're asking for the code. The timing might convince you that the bot's request is legitimate. However, if you respond, it sends the code to the scammer, not to the bank, okay? who can now log into your account. So learn more ways to protect your parents from phone scams. Yeah, I mean, I'm on top of mine all the time. I get my mother's phone a lot, and I just look through it just to make sure that something has not been downloaded onto her phone. Okay, because she got taken once. Okay, how about cryptocurrency and investment scams? Now, cryptocurrency prices rocketed after the presidential election, and often these scams are sure to follow. You know, when, let's say the stock goes up with ABC oil, I'm just making something up. So let's say that happens. So the scammer's going to be on it immediately. So you need to be super careful, okay? Okay. These have taken different forms over the years, including scams involving fake prizes, contest giveaways, or early investment opportunities. Let me tell you one that was so funny. Phil and I were going to Lowe's to pick up some supplies. And so we get there and I get this call coming in that says, it says PCH. Okay, like Publishers Clearinghouse. I went on ahead and took it and thinking it's probably a scam. But I wanted to be able to talk intelligent to you. Okay, so I went on ahead and took it. And so the guy told me that I won the $1 million award. I said, oh, I did. And he said, yeah, you did. But you know what I heard in the background? I heard chickens in the background. A little suspicious to me. I even mentioned it to him. And he said, oh, that's our, he called it their logo or something. And I'm like, logo, what's that got to do with anything? But I wanted to keep talking to him. So, and it's best for you not to, I mean, it's best just to hang up. It's just that I'm in the business and I wanted to make sure that you could understand and follow if something like this happens to you. First of all, if you hear chickens in the background, it's probably not legit, probably. Then he goes on to say we won the $1 million, but here's where it gets. He said that I was going to have to send him $1,000 to unlock that. And so I said, oh, how do I send you the $1,000? Well, I was going to have to go to some store. I think it was I'm not sure what it was, but anyway, it was a store. And I was going to have to get a gift card and send it to him. And I said, so I've won $1 million. I've got to send you $1,000 to unlock it. I don't think PCH works that way, Publishers Clearinghouse. So anyway, I went on ahead and hung up on him. I'm just telling you, they're going to try. And if they can get you to listen for like 10 minutes, they think they've done something. Let's go ahead and cut to a commercial break. And we're going to be right back. Some of them will make you laugh, but they also might want to make you cry if you've been taken. So let's go ahead and go to a break. We'll be right back.
Twin City Used Car Sales has been serving drivers in the Northeast Alabama area for years with a quality selection of late model used cars, SUVs, and pickup trucks. On top of our extensive selection and competitive prices, we offer professional auto financing services for used car buyers of all credit levels. Whether you've just begun your search or you're ready to secure your next vehicle, at Twin City Used Car Sales, you will drive away with the vehicle of your dreams. The sales and finance staff at Twin City Used Car Sales looks forward to serving you, and you can apply for financing online before your visit to our used dealership in Gadsden, Alabama. Check us out on the web at twincityusedcars.com or go by our location at 901 First Avenue, Gadsden, Alabama. We sincerely look forward to serving you. At Lamone's Mexican Restaurant, located in Henniger, Alabama, and voted Best Mexican Restaurant of DeKalb County, Alabama 2020, we're here to serve you with authentic Mexican cuisine. Order easily online by going to lamonsmex.com or call 256-657-3999 to place your order. We're open Sunday through Thursday 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Friday and Saturday 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Whether you're celebrating a cozy date night for two or a celebration for a crowd, at Lamone's you'll love our atmosphere and friendly servers. Thank you for dining with Lamone's Mexican Restaurant. At Liberty Bank, we're all about community, whether it's to help with a charity fundraiser or help families in need. Toys at Christmas or a local football team, we're here for you. You see, we realize the importance of family. Sometimes it's to build a new home or necessary home repairs. We're here for you. If you like the feel of a small town bank with all the conveniences of a big city bank, we're here to serve you. You will find us at any of our convenient locations in DeKalb, Marshall, Etowah, and Blount counties in North Alabama. You can call and speak with any of our friendly staff at 256-659-2175 or check us out on the web at libertybankal.com. And thank you for your support of our community. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
Are you ready?
We all wonder what tomorrow will bring, but the future lays itself at the feet of the prepared and surrenders to the will of the persistent. It's not easy, but today shapes you so you can shape tomorrow. With Northeast Alabama Community College, when the future asks if you're ready, you can answer
yes.
Begin your future at Northeast Alabama Community College.
Donnas Designs offers a line of handmade memorial, wedding, and keepsake jewelry that launched back in 1970. I'm a self-trained jewelry designer, and I will work closely with you to create unique designs you can love and treasure for years to come. Whether that be flowers that were used in a funeral arrangement or stones you found on the beach at a memorable trip, call me at 256-659-4319, and let's think of the possibilities.
Okay, so this is part 2 of scams you need to be aware of. And I want you to be totally aware, because I'm telling you, just as soon as I tell you this, some scammer somewhere is another country, it could be right here in the United States in their garage, is working on ways to take your money away from you. And that's what brings on the technical world. There are wonderful things in the internet. There are wonderful QR codes. There are all kinds of wonderful things. But guess what? You still got to be careful. And you got to look out for these people. Now, some scammers may impersonate a celebrity or a popular website to lure victims into sending them money, sharing login information, or investing in a project. The crypto exchange accounts have also been the target of the QTP bot attack technique described, that I just mentioned to you just a few minutes ago, and to prevent you from getting your crypto back while the scammer drains your account. Be really careful on this crypto stuff, okay? Be careful. The investment scams often rely on similar techniques, but without the crypto spin. Now, the Better Business Bureau, the BBB, considered the combined crypto and investment scam to be the riskiest scam in its 2023 BBB Scam Tracker Risk Report, although it didn't have the highest median losses at $3,800. Over 80% of the people were targeted did report some kind of a loss, but the average is somewhere around $3,800. Be careful, because I care about you. Okay, now let's go ahead and talk about online purchase scams. Happens all the time. Online purchase scams continue to be one of the riskiest types of scams, according to the Better Business Bureau. Although median losses were relatively low at $100, over 40% of the scams reported to the BBB were online purchases and scams. Over 80% of people reported falling for the scam. Some people don't report it because they think you're going to think they're stupid. No, it can happen to anybody. Report it to the Better Business Bureau. Believe me, you're helping not only yourself, you're helping others as well. And you'll be preventing somebody else for being taken advantage of as well. Okay, some scammers will set up a fake e-commerce store and buy ads for the website on social media. Ultimately, scammers might list items for sale on online marketplaces, including social media platforms and marketplaces. Now, another thing I wanted to mention to you about the online purchase scams. I get this email, it's like 10 times a day. They won't stop. It's about PayPal. And it will say that XYZ Lumber Company just bought something from me and that I had $800 sitting right there in my account. best thing to do is go to paypal.com. Do not, and I'm going to repeat, do not click the link. Don't do that. Just go to paypal.com and put in your username and password and just see. Yeah, because it could be legit. I mean, you could have received an order on, it could be somebody's looked on Facebook and they say, let's just use me for an example, because I sell ads. It's how we keep the show going for 20 years. And so it could be someone, and I've received this one before, telling me that somebody had bought an ad from me for $2,000 or something like that. But it didn't show it a legit business. And normally it would have like Bobby Ledbetter, Twin City Used Car Sales, bought a $2,000 ad. First of all, that's not how that works. We have to fill out applications. We have to view each other, and I have to talk to the person and find out exactly what they're looking for, as far as advertising, that kind of thing. So it doesn't work that way anyway. So what I did is I got out of that. I even closed out. And this is another good idea. It was on the email. I even closed out that particular page. Then I get back in again. I pulled up the browser. I closed out the browser. Then I typed in paypal.com. I went in and put in my username and password. There was nothing in there that even remotely sounded possible that could be the truth. So anyway, you need to not click on the link. We've talked about this a million times, but now I'm going to tell you again, don't click links. Go directly to the website, put in your username and password, and just see if something like that happened. I know that something like that happened on somebody I know on Etsy. This is back when we were living in Charlotte, North Carolina. And so my friend had an Etsy page, and she said that somebody said that they had clicked something from her Etsy account, like it was $500. Well, she's thinking, man, I just made $500. She clicks on the link in the website or in her Yahoo account, and it led her to something. They put money in there. I'm dead. But then they took more than $500 out. So be super careful, okay? And scammers are using new techniques every day. Okay, we talked about the e-commerce stores, but the scammers might also take out your money and never send anything in return. Now, eBay, because we sell a few things, I sell jewelry and stuff like that on eBay. So eBay has a really good practice, and I really do like it. I feel secure now that they make a lot of money off of you. I'll say that. But another thing is you can feel pretty sure if there's a scammer out there. If you order something or if you sell something on eBay, you need to check, because what'll happen is I've got 100% good ratings. Okay. I've not had any negatives, but now I'm super careful, and I'll mail my stuff out as soon as the person pays for it. It's out the door. And I sell good quality products. But what you want to do is just check references, what people have put about that person, about that buyer, if somebody's buying from you or if you're buying from somebody else. Okay, so I wanted some seeds one time. And so there was another person on eBay. I mean, it looked all legit. I mean, it looked like, oh man, this person is like from heaven. But then I checked. I mean, it was like a really, really low price. A little too good to be true. So I checked their references and what people said about him. Oh my God. They were probably on the verge of eBay getting rid of them. Because if you go below, I think it's 80%, they start, checking you out. It was like one thing after the other. I ordered seeds, I never got them. It's just one thing over it. Well, I'm not going to go check references on people. That's what they're there for. Now every once in a while you're going to get somebody's just mad at the world, and they're just going to give everybody a bad review. If you get one bad review is on, I don't hold that against anybody. But if I'm seeing almost the same thing, one thing after the other, well, then I'm not going to buy from that person. And it's a flag now. It's a red flag. Okay. All right. And it's a red flag also if somebody's trying to buy something from you and you see on the review, that they're not a good person. You can cancel that out. You don't have to sell to that person. Okay. Now the scammer might take your money and never send anything in return, or they might be committing a fraud purchasing the item you bought with someone else's stolen credit card. You got to be careful there as well. You know what? If that happens, you lose everything. You're going to lose the product. You're never going to get it back. And then guess what? Whatever e-commerce site is going to have to refund that money back. You're going to be the loser in this. So be careful. Okay, you might not realize you were part of a scam unless you try to return the item or use a warranty. That can happen too. Now, always look out. We talk about the red flags. Always look out for red flags such as too good to be true prices, lack of details, or high-pressure sales tactics. Paying with your credit card can also help you limit potential losses, as you can initiate a chargeback if you don't receive a product or the return. That's why I don't use my bank card. Because if that happens while I'm using a bank card, guess what? SOL, I'm out of luck. Nothing is going to happen for me. Okay, let's go ahead and get back. Okay, let's talk about employment scams. I think we've got time for that. Yeah, we do. Okay, employment scams use enticing and hard to detect lures to target people who have been out of work. Now, some scammers take a slow approach with interviews and a legitimate seeming operation. Then they collect personal information from your employment forms, or they tell you to buy equipment or training. Now, other scams get right to the point and they promise guaranteed or easy income if you purchase their program. Now, sometimes a fake employer sends a large paycheck and asks you to send the extra back. Be careful there. That's a play on a popular overpayment scam. Now, the FTC says it reports about task scams when you're hired to repeat simple tasks online increased from about 5,000 people during all of 2023 to 20,000 folks during the first half of 2024. So you might be able to withdraw a small amount at first, but the scam occurs when you're told you can pay to increase your earning rate and that you have to deposit money to unlock larger withdrawals. Okay, don't do it. So I had someone send me a text, and they're supposed to be from some huge company, and they said they saw my resume online. How can you see my resume online? I haven't been searching for a job. I own my own business. I've been doing this for 20 years, and I'm not changing. So they said that they had looked at my resume online, and I'm the perfect candidate. And they wanted me to click a link, which I did not do. Don't click the link. Never do that. Now they're sending texts now. Back in the day, when we were selling cell phones, it was just not posh to send a text message to a customer or anybody. You just didn't do it. Well, now everybody's doing it. You know, now it's like a quick way to get in contact with anybody, which wound up being a curse in some parts. So be very careful, again, on clicking links. Don't do it. Someone says your daughter's in jail and you don't even have a daughter. First of all, you know it's a scam. The next thing, if they do send you something and it says your son's in jail and they actually mention Johnny's name, okay, don't click the link. Call the sheriff's department and say, I just received a phone call that my son Johnny, or a text or whatever, is in jail. They'll tell you whether it's true or not. So be really careful because, you know, this is your hard-earned money. And I just don't want it happening to you. Thank you so much for watching Donna's Edge television talk show where truth matters. You can find us on television. That's on Abundant Television, found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. And don't forget the podcast on thenewscaster.com, all social media sites. And continue sending emails, you know, because you make my day. You really do. Donna at donnasedge.com. Thank you so much for watching.